on live on ustream.tv.com here, and had a little difficulty coming on, but I am on right now, and we need to put out several announcements so that people can go and come to their computers right now. So we just want to put this out there, and then we're going to kick our show off. And we're rocking and rolling. So thank you for being here today, being patient. It's always fun to come on here and broadcast. There's so many people out here, and sometimes people might think, well, maybe this is a Mercury retrograde thing, and no, it's just technology that happens at any given point on these programs. So because there's at least about 5,000 to 25,000 people that are broadcasting through all of these servers worldwide to do their shows at any given time. So this is what can happen, and we're just letting you know that this is how it flows sometimes. I'm still here, so if you see it flash in and out, it's still functioning. I know the volume's up and working, so I want to get this out to everybody, and everybody can start kicking on now. Alright, it's going to be like a slight 3-second delay throughout the broadcast because this is how basically the system runs. And so you will notice things, and this is just basically the way it goes. So I'm not upset at all. I'm going to enjoy the ride, and we're going to get started. Today is the 8th of September 2016. This is our opportunity to broadcast live here online every Thursday with a live video stream. We attempt to be on at about 90 minutes. So we're going to kick this through. So the show is still going to be running. We popped on at about 5:18 or so, and we're going to run it all the way past 6:15 into maybe 6:45. All right, through divine power and by divine grace, for all of you who have this opportunity to listen and watch today's show live, may you be blessed by the information you're about to receive. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to use a lot of meditation so that you could receive this information, and this is going to be fabulous because time and time again meditation has to be utilized, and it's very, very important that people get this information. So I want to make sure that everything is running full blast. Alright, so through divine power and by divine grace, may you be blessed by the words you're about to receive here, and the spirit of mightiness, I'm going to call it, and the spirit of beauty and harmony, unconditional love and divine grace. This is September the 8th, and the number 8, if we flip it on its side, is the sign of infinity. So it is an opportunity to serve you this information so that you can receive it in the numerous ways that are possible, infinite ways that are possible for you. And this is a great opportunity for you to be able to take off, fly, as Akhenaten says, flow, glow, and flow, is what he always puts forth in my meditations. So I'm going to open up a chat room here just in case people want to ask questions in the chat room, or those of you that are very close to me that have my personal mobile number, you can always send me a chat on the personal mobile number, and I'll hear that little sound, I'll read it, and I'll be able to answer your questions. So we're going to get this going right now. As soon as the chat comes up, I'll be able to rock and roll with you. And so we're going to flow with some meditation. And now, interesting factor is I feel like I'm supposed to lay out some decrees right about now. So I am going to. Now, I don't have any decrees written down, so I'm just going to go with the flow and let the spirit within me release these decrees live. So um, sometimes we might call these decrees a channeling. But I'm not going to call it channeling. I'm going to call it exactly what it is. I'm actually receiving it and giving it to you at the same time. So I'm not in a deep state of mind where I would normally be, but I am deep. And I'm going to be able to release this right out into your hands. So I want to set the energetic stage for this so that you can receive it. So as we begin this flow through divine power and by divine grace, I see and decree that you will be in a state of awareness so that you see, feel, and hear and sense everything that is going on in your life clearly. I see and decree that you shall remember all that you are here to remember. I see and decree that you will be able to receive, accept, and embrace the highest good for you in every moment of your life. I see and decree that you shall always be centered. That's what I'm hearing, centered, so that you live from the deepest still point within inside of you. I see and decree that many times as we go through the various situations in life, that we begin to write a new story. You know, I was talking with my spiritual sister, Renelle, today, and we were talking about how not only ourselves, but a lot of people that we know since we've been here in Albuquerque, and not only that, but people that we know from back east mainly. And what happens is, I have a lot of friends from back east who will call me, and they talk a lot about death. They talk a lot about uh, mortality, for themselves, and it's not that they're fearing death, but they're talking about death so much that they don't realize that they're stunting their growth. They're stunting their inner ability to graduate out of that realm of thinking and feeling and actually walk into a better atmosphere of thinking and feeling and acquiring a higher essence, a higher energy essence for themselves. And often, when we think about the things that have happened to ourselves, it's sometimes um, thwarts our initiative. So, what I'm hearing from all of my ancestors, and I'm even channeling ReveLs-Bey here, and he said it's time to let go of what happened to us long time ago. Meaning, if there were any roadblocks that we've experienced long time ago, sometimes we are reflecting on them a little too much. And in the process of reflecting on them a little too much, we are wallowing in defeat that we experienced back then. Instead of, um, as we see ourselves growing to the state of conscious awareness that we are right now, that we should be able to look at that in the past and find the jewels. Because even in your failures, there are jewels. Even in your moments where you might have been feeling sadness, worry, annoyance, depression, experiencing it, there are some jewels there that you could actually take out and dust them off, polish them up, and use them now. And these are the remedies that were received during those times. So we want to be able to, as he says, to move forward, which will allow us to experience our own greatness as it is unfolding within us and outside of us. And so much of this information that I'm rocking forth today is literally reminding us that it is all right to let go. And as we let go of whatever irks us, whatever seem to take hold of our consciousness and enslave us in such a way that we don't recognize opportunities, then what's going to happen if we don't recognize the opportunities that we've actually planted during that time when we were in a state of depression and anger and sadness, when we were in a state of, immobilization and stagnation and procrastination. We were planting some other seeds that would lead us out of there. And where we find ourselves now is we're out of those foxholes and trenches, and we're now above ground, and we're now moving around more freely. So we take the jewels that got us here, and then what we do is, in the process, we plant more jewels, more seeds that will grow into these jewels of awareness and remembrance. But what we start to remember is how successful we were in another moment. Now we know that there's this multi-universe that we're in, so we're going to, as we say, I remember, I am aware, because this is something, a phrase and a decree I gave out at the end of my Blog Talk radio show last afternoon. The last wording was, I am aware, I remember. Or you could say, I am aware that I remember that I am aware. So it sounds like you're going in a circle, but what you're realizing is that your awareness and your remembrance are hand in hand. They're side by side or inside of each other. That's a better way to put it. The energies are inside of each other. They're like a braid. They're braided together. So at some point, your awareness and your remembrance become one and the same. In fact, in the word remember is R-E, right? That's the prefix, which represents to either repeat something or to elevate something. Think of the word regal. When we think of regal, we don't think of going back to a state of having nothing. We think of regal meaning you're prosperous, re-elevated. You're prospering. You're moving up higher. So remember means that you have gathered the different parts of yourself, and you're moving them back to their original uh, original rung in the ladder of light. I'll say you're putting them back where they belong, where the power was pure. You're putting back. So what's happening is there's this part of ourselves, this deeper part of our soul, that has the remembrance and has the awareness, and therefore can reach deep inside, find the map of consciousness and awareness, and put it where it needs to be, so that there's a smoother path around this. We would want our path to be smoother. It's not supposed to be difficult. We want a purpose that is smoother. We are designed for it. We might be designed to handle some difficulties in some slow moments, but in that higher sense of awareness and remembrance, we're here to get back into the flow where we're engaging at a higher level. And as we begin to gauge at a higher level, then we're literally moving forward. And as we move forward, we begin to feel this movement of energy, just like a jet taking off from a runway, how it accelerates and then it starts to lift off the ground and catches the wind current and then it glides. It's moving forward. We want to be able to do that, and we want to be able to be aware of what else is going on around us that is also moving up with us at the same time. So what we're going to find is that everything around ourselves is going to move forward. And as we move forward, we're going to, in our own way, we're going to prosper accordingly. We're going to, we'll have the resources. Spirit says we'll have the resources. Now, it's interesting about that word resource. There you see the R-E in there. The prefix, right? It says prefix. Fix before. Prefix. Fix before. Fix before what? Before the tire goes flat, before the engine stops, before the car runs out of gas. You know, rechange. Change things up a bit so that you're running on, as they say, running on all four or six or eight cylinders. So that you're moving ahead properly, and so that everything is moving together rhythmically, and so that everything is allowing you to be successful at whatever you're doing. So what we want to do, because I don't want to say like you, is no separation. It's not a you and an I, or just you or just me. What we want to be aware of in the deeper recesses within the mind, in the thinking process, and all the way down into the soul of our being, is that we are consciously elevating, consciously resourcing ourselves. And every time we resource ourselves, we take ourselves to a higher level. Because if we can be aware and remember that we can resource ourselves to a higher level, then we are taking everything that we could use that allows us to expand. And while we are expanding, we are also then allowing ourselves to literally, as my late mother would say, have it all. So we want to have it all, and all for each one of us might be just slightly different, because we all have an understanding what all is. So as we move through this moment in our lives, we are allowing ourselves to raise our vibration without being manipulated by others. Could be an entity, a known entity or unknown entity. It could be a series of vibrations that we're not familiar with, but we're not going to allow ourselves to get stuck. It's okay for us to take a moment, and that moment could be days, hours, weeks, or months, to go deeper inside ourselves, but we have this ability to be in motion while we're in the still point. So you think of the still point like the eye of a hurricane. When the eye of a hurricane passes over you, that's when everything is calm. Newscasters and storm chasers will tell you just how many miles is the diameter of the eye. Now, I remember as a youngster listening to the news when I lived on Long Island, out in Hempstead, Nassau County to be exact. One day, storm was just brewing, and my parents ran a radio and TV business. So they were making sure that the glass display window wasn't going to get busted out. and they owned a building. So their radio and TV business was on the side street called Marvin Avenue, and therefore the corner was Marvin Avenue and South Franklin Street. So whoever had shops there in that part, they made sure that they were boarded properly, right? The only thing was, my brother and I were home. My older brother and I were home, and they were no more than 5 minutes away. Yet the storm was on us really quick. So we just knew to stay indoors. And we knew where they were. They were in the basement of the shop. Everybody went downstairs in the building and went into the basement and remained there. And they had a shortwave radio and everything so that they could get the information. We knew that we would be okay. What was so interesting was I remember listening to the radio. We had a little battery operated radio, my brother and I, and they said, you know, the eye of this hurricane that was coming through was exactly 10 miles. So this hurricane was big. The eye of the hurricane, the diameter of it was roughly close to 10 miles. So my brother and I knew, you know, how much of a distance that was. So when we knew that the winds died down, the first waves of wind died down, we actually stepped out into the eye. Now that was dangerous, but we stepped out into the eye. In fact, a lot of children on the block stepped out of their houses into the eye. But it's only 10 miles in diameter, anywhere you go, right? So we knew not to go anywhere, but I was just enthralled with this idea that I could be in the middle of this eye of this storm and feel absolute peace. To fast forward that many, many years later, working at what they call a quote-unquote botanica, herb spiritual shop, I remember getting home and another intense storm rose up, and I was in I think of my late 30s by that time, if I think of it. Probably around in my late 30s, yeah, I was probably about 37, 35. It was about 1987, 88. And there was a storm, so I was able to get home where I was staying at that time, and I remember distinctly that since I was learning meditation, and the person I was with at that time, she was nervous, the lady that owned the house, and she was going into the basement. I just stayed on the second floor of the house, and I sat there in meditation. And something came to me that if this is quote-unquote the eye of the storm, is it possible that the eye of this storm is actually a chakra energy field? So what I did was, as wild as the storm was and as wild as the house was rocking, I asked for peace, inner peace, and to be present in the eye of the storm, as if I was seated. So in other words, I took everybody that was on this quote-unquote dead-end block on both ends, and I pictured that whole block on both ends, which was a dead end on either side, like a cul-de-sac on either end, and I pictured it in the center of the eye. And I asked that we receive whatever the message was, and that I could specifically receive a message as to why the storm was there. One of the things I did get was that the storm was there because of people's fears. And I thought that was quite empowering. The storm was flowing out of the Atlantic, coming up on Long Island, because the fear that was there, and the negativity that fear creates, and the negativity that creates fear, and how people were, of course, ripping off people. But, you know, after that storm left, there was some devastation beyond our area, but it wasn't bad at all. But when you got out to the main street, it was pretty tore up. And what was so interesting was the people that lived on that main street, they were like some of the meanest people I ever did see. None of them got harmed. Their homes were a little, you know, tagged. But it made people, that particular storm in 1987, 1988, made people pay attention to how they were treating each other. People that didn't get along with each other, after that storm passed, they got along with each other. They, maybe a couple of months later down the road, they kind of slid back to what they were accustomed to doing. But for that first 2 to 3 months after that storm, that hurricane hit, those people were chilled out. And not only were they chilled out, but the street that led to the area, to the street that I lived on, which was called Mitchell Street or Mitchell Avenue, and it mellowed out everybody back there. Neighbors that didn't get along, were something about the energy forced them to get along. And I mean just a simple good morning, which that they normally did not hand out to each other. They always, gave this mean look and like, don't talk to me, and I'm gonna go over there and fight you, and I'll release my dog on you. And everybody was chilled out for like 90 days. And the block that I lived on, people were living a little bit more harmonious with each other and noticed it. And of course their children noticed it too, because the children played with each other. They didn't understand why the parents were so angry with each other, why they didn't get along, but the children got along quite well. So I say that to bring that up, that we should pull out the gems that we have that have stayed with us through difficult times, and put those gems where we could draw on the energy of them. And these gems are remembrances where we did something good that enhanced the environment, enhanced the neighborhood, enhanced your people in the neighborhood. Maybe it brought a greater peace to your family, or maybe it brought greater peace to just the land in which you were at. So be aware that you are a mighty resource of energy. Each and every one of you is a mighty resource of energy. And you can begin to turn something that appeared to be sour into something that can be positive. That is the power that rests within you, and it's a little tiny seed. It's a little tiny seed. People may say the faith of the mustard seed, which is so tiny. But I'm talking about something that's larger than you. But you don't see it, but you can feel it. That energy that you possess, that you could give to the world or to your environment. So one of the exercises that just came to mind, and we're not going to do it on the air, but you can do it at any time, is the next time you are in meditation, and you could then readily check this out. The next time that you have a chance to sit in meditation, and allow yourself to sit for whatever length of time that is necessary. It could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it could be an hour, 2 hours, whatever you need. But utilize that meditation moment to create, and this form of creation is using your third eye, your crown chakra, the base of your skull, your temples, your throat, and your heart chakra. And from that, you're going to see energy, or feel energy, or sense energy that is more positive beyond where you live. So let's say, as an example, you can leave your house or your apartment, and I mean literally step out into the hallway and know that there's nothing but peace, nothing but unconditional love, nothing but divine love and divine grace emanating from you, emanating out of the ethers around you in your residence, emanating down the hallway, taking on the entire building, emanating, radiating, and creating a particular resonance, meaning resonation, where it's all on the same level. And then watch and record mentally what is going on outside the building, down the block or across the street. Maybe there's a specific place that you intend to walk to, and you are speaking peace, harmony, happiness, uh, unconditional love, compassion, greater joy, greater harmonic peace. When I say harmonic peace, even the peace is bringing harmony out like a mushroom and connecting every other place connected to it. Let's say you and a friend are going to go have some tea and crumpets, tea and a snack, and there's a place that you can walk to. If you know the exact route, if you know the exact route in your meditation, foot by foot, yard by yard, you're going to lace it with unconditional love. You're just going to know it's there. So that's, in essence, everything outside of you is swirling like the hurricane. You are now the eye of the hurricane. You are the heart of the hurricane. And you're bringing that energy into your environment, where every being that it touches, every other soul that it touches, receives that energy and also begins to bathe in the peace that you are calling forth and the peace that you are carrying. Maybe tomorrow you're going to work. You have a job outside your home, and you're going to work. And maybe it's a place that has a lot of high energy, but a lot of energy that could be struggling. Maybe it's an energy where people can be a little at odds. Some people are off with some of you. And all you're going to do is you're not going to change how that person thinks or how that person feels. All you're going to do is you're going to plant a seed of peace and unconditional love into the environment. And it could be in the cubicle or at the desk where you sit. But that area where you sit is overflowing like a bubbling spring. And by the way, wherever you go to park your car or get off the subway, get off the bus and walk, or take your bike, wherever you are, you're creating that. That energy around you is a huge field of energy, so that when you arrive and chain your bike, your motorcycle, park it, or you park your car, or you come up out of the subway or down from the L train or the bus, that whole time you left your house, you were generating this love. Generating this love, and is expanding. And everybody that you see, even if you don't know that they're coming out of their home, and if you don't know them, they're in their car, you might take the same route. Everybody can feel it. They feel a sense of peace. You might see people laughing, children laughing on their way to school. You might people walking their dog, and the dogs are happy, and the people are carrying a cat, and the cat's happy. All you know is just total happiness, total peace and harmony. People getting along because the soul can feel the vibration and get along, feel at peace and feel the harmony. And you get to your destination tomorrow morning, your job or the bank or the laundromat, the baker, everybody's happier than what you've known them to be. In the coffee shop or the cafe, people more energetic but happy, not because it's Friday, it's because they feel that way. You're just tapping into the energy flow and asking for the atomic molecular structure to receive your message. You're going to envision it. You have the vision, it's on the inside, and you're going to carry it outside during the meditation. And then you're going to be in the flow of it when you leave your residence to go to your place of business, or get into your car, you're going to feel it. You can feel the joy and the energy that you created. It was manifesting in the spirit realm, and then you made it and helped it to what? Materialize. Mater, M-A-T-E-R, is Latin for mother or womb. And you just got in touch with Alma Mater, the mother of the womb, the mother of all creation. And you've allowed yourself to walk in through her element and birth a new feeling, a new presence. And then you become like this journalist, and you're receiving the information. You're the reporter. You're noticing what's happening, and you're recording that. These moments allow you to decree a new thing, a new experience. So here's the decree of the soul coming through. The spirit of Akhenaten is all over me. And we say, usually when we're on a social media page, we say, my grace is your grace. Our grace is your grace, and your grace is our grace, meaning it's all one and the same. We are happy that you are here with us, and we know that you are happy that we're here with you. It's not the physical location, it's the spiritual inner location where we're connecting. So we are happy together. We are embracing together. The same kind of energy takes place when you and a close friend can look in each other's eyes. You might blink here or there, but you just go deeper in each other's eyes, receiving that energy. Now, I'm going to say something here that I got a message from Akhenaten, and it was a very interesting way in which I got it. I had been thinking, and I said I'm just going to wing it, going with the flow. This show, so I don't have any notes. This thing is just pulling from my memory. Excuse me. One of the things was I had a question for a long period of time, a very long period of time. Now we learn about the eye and the optical nerves that run into the eye from the back. And the back wall of the eye has the retina, right? And that whole area back there has cones, like indentations. And these areas behind the lens, the cornea of your eye, and the pupil, going all the way back there, all the way around in the back of the eye, these inverted cones are capturing light and images. And I was asking him that, is it possible that these little encapsulated places in the eye, connected to nerves, will allow us to see a whole bunch of images at one time? And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, like an insect. Insect has all these little eyes, and they can see all these little angles. So when people attempt to take a fly swatter to hit it or grab it, not only does the fly feel the air, the pressure that you're creating in the air coming behind it or in front of it, but it sees you, just like you see me, just in these slight movements. It sees you like that. So I was wondering if we, in our process of graduating, getting higher, we're going to have that kind of awareness where we can see the movement of the hand in a more staccato way, and we're going to notice as proof if this was the hand behind me, when it moved into my awareness that it was there, and now I see it more consciously, and then it moves on, moves away, it makes me aware that the so-called past, present, and future are all one and the same for sure, and that these cones on the back of the eyes is like cameras capturing those minute moments frame by frame. Scientists used to say before that when you look at an object, like I'm looking at a light bulb, I'm seeing it right side up, but I'm actually seeing it flipped around upside down. And yet by the time it reflects back out, I'm seeing it right side up. All these little nuances are coming to mind. That we created this body. We created everything that's in the body to allow us to function in this 3D world. And those cones in the back of the eyes, they're going to, in a deeper zone, they're going to open up just like the cells, the trillions of cells in the body open up, and we're going to see all the intricate layers of an image. So that means we don't have to see everything outside of ourselves, because what we see outside of ourselves, we've had memory about from before, right? We've seen light bulbs with a filament before. We've seen the cords running up, and we know that you're pulling the electricity out of the wall, which is also connected to a unit of fiber running through your house, right, up into the ground, and then going further and running up a pole to a unit where electricity is being fed. If you kind of see what I'm getting at, we already know that, but we're going to experience light on a completely different level other than what people are doing now. There's such a thing as light. Not only people are demonstrating, glowing from the inside out. That's really nothing new. Martial artists, great Qigong masters have been doing that for some time. They've been able to pull their energy up and throw it out so that you could see it. They could throw their chi out so you can feel it. See it and feel it. I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about the kind of energy level that we're going to get to one day internally, because we're generators. We're going to be able to see into other worlds from within not only the mind, but within your chakras. But we're going to see and we're going to hear conversations coming from other zones and other areas in the ethers around us. So I think what I'm trying to tell you is that we have dreamt all of this before. Somewhere we have had conversations about what we're doing now. At some point in our lives, we have had conversations and meditations and contemplations and, discussions with elders and ancestors walking on this earth plane or someplace else, that we were going to remember this moment, and then everything turn itself on. We're the ones that planted the seeds. We're the farmers. We're the tillers of the earth or the heart. We're the tillers of the soil, the consciousness. And we're getting ready to remember. And we're going to remember without a program. That's what Akhenaten wants me to release to you. You see, many people have talked about the tools. And these tools are going to allow you to open up to a higher level. So that means that when you begin to remember everything you need to know about yourself, you're going to realize that you are already this divine nature in motion, and that you can already see into another realm and dimension. Because why? What you're seeing outside yourself is happening from the inside. You had the inkling. You don't have the inkling outside yourself. We never have the inkling outside ourselves. The inkling is always inside. Inside. The link is on the inside. We're going to flip it on all the way. And what Akhenaten is telling me, and Serapis Bey is telling me, Kuan Yin is telling me, who else is here? Metatron is present and telling me. Saint Germain is present and telling me. It's just a remembrance, everybody. It just got a white light on that, a golden white light. We're not going to need any gadgets. We might still have a mobile phone to tap out a text message, but the greatest mobile phone is you. This telepathic mechanism, this ability to generate chi, prana, ki, this ability to take a crystal or something like this, a selenite rod or wand, and I'm able to take it and blow it through the screen, and certain people, if they're open, can feel it. Why? Because all of this is just energy. So can you imagine if you continue doing certain exercises, not just exercises that I give you, not just exercises that somebody else gives you, but the one that you remember from a long time ago. See, when you get into your meditation, you're going to tap into something that you utilize or you placed inside yourself for this moment. It's going to act like a key that's going to unlock the doorway to your own DNA, which I like to call your divine nature in action. Activate it. You're going to turn it on. And when you realize that you can turn it on, you'll never want to turn it off again. Why? Because the energy is consistent. The energy is expansive. The energy can work in a laser-like pinhole, or as big as the suns, or big as the galaxy, and you don't lose anything. You just gain a greater awareness to your own consciousness. So I need to take a little sip of water, because this is one of the things that's going to charge us up. And many of you remember the Japanese fellow who talked about, the vibrations of water. And you can write, labels that are on bottles or putting other people's energies in the water. But you can create your own signature. You can write on their love. You can write on their peace. You can write on their harmony, greater health. If you have it in a cup, you can do the same. You can energize the cup. It's just an illusionary object. Your thoughts can travel through things. Your feelings can travel through things. So I'm going to take this liter bottle of water. 1 liter is less than a liter right now. It was a full liter at 33.8 fluid ounces. I'm maybe almost close to half, a little more than half. I'm putting my hand right on the top of the cap, because the center of my palm is my heart, and I'm going to radiate it with some chi. I'm going to send this water a thought for better health, higher energy, clear energy, a better understanding of all things of a molecular and atomic structure. That means when I see energy of people, I want to be able to speak, or I want to be able to receive information from the atomical side and the molecular side of that being around me, right down to a rock. So I want to take this heart-shaped snowflake obsidian, and I want to hear it talk to me. To other people, what we do, they might see this as an inanimate object. Well, it appears to be inanimate, but due to our agreements in the world, of this 3D world, it's being held together by trillions and gazillions of other beings beyond ourselves, that is solid in this so-called solid world. We can rechannel energy, redirect energy. We can capture it and reutilize it for something else. So it's just a reminder that we do have this ability inside to do exactly that. So I see and decree. Back to that. I see and decree that there's an inner message inside of a message, inside of a message of everything that I've spoken up to this point. There's information that has been spoken up to this point that you or anyone else that plays this later, whether it's right here or when I upload it into YouTube, my Circle of Grace channel, Brother Francis ReveLs-Bey channel in YouTube, that when you replay it numerous times, even in the movements of my hands, you're going to see something different. You're going to feel something different. I'm decreeing that you're going to see something different. See something different coming from my hands, radiating to you. And if it's meant for you to receive it, you shall receive it in the highest good for me and for you. People used to tell me a long time ago, never show the palm of your hand, because people then read the palm of your hand and then they'll try to manipulate your direction of life. Now, they got their own. I can show my hand all day long. Yeah, you might notice some things, but you can't change. This is the patterns that I chose. And anybody else has their own hand. That's the pattern of energy that they chose to move through life with. So I'm not worried about that. Again, if I worry about it, then I'm creating what? Old tracks in the mind. Old tracks, sound replays going over when something didn't work out. So if I accept that I'm fine with my palms being shown, me being directed to show it, then hey, there's going to be something powerful for whoever is supposed to receive it. You know, people would come on TV, they call them the faith healers, and say, well, put your hand with my hand on the screen. Well, the thing is, people weren't feeling anything because the person was just placing their hand up on the screen. The person who was saying that wasn't directing any energy through that at all. But people can do that. People can direct their energy because these laptops, these servers, the desktops, you know, the electricity in the air, the magnetism is setting up the vibration so you can send something. You can direct energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to digress a minute and bring up some information, and we're going to step back into this on a different level. Many of you know that I have 5 basic spiritual courses, and they are: the key to life is numerology. The subtitle is the shorthand. Numerology is the shorthand of astrology. I have white light meditation and energetic shields. That's number 2. Number 3, I have understanding your dreams. Number 4 is the art of manifesting your heart's desires, with the subtitle through the 10 fields of awareness, and Tarot Basics 1, 2, 3. These are 5 PDFs that sell for $27 each. But if you'd like to get all 5 of them, you only pay $118. And all you have to do is email me at iam.circleofgrace1@yahoo.com to request which one that you would like to purchase, or if you want all 5. Now, there's no discount if you only purchase 4 out of the 5, or any number that arises to 4. But if you do any number that rises to 5, like 2 copies of one and 3 of another, 3 individual ones and 2 copies of one, or you take all 5 of them, it's $118. And all I'm going to do is send you a PayPal invoice, and then you just click on view and profile, and then you can quietly and secretly pay for it with a debit or credit card of the amount that's in the invoice that you requested. And then I send it out. The PDFs are sent out to you by email to your private inbox by way of my Circle Grace 1 Gmail account, which is iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com. And when you receive that one, all the PDFs that you ordered will be right there. If you ordered like on a Friday night, then you allow 72 hours. If you order during the week from Monday through Thursday, you can get it within about 24 hours once your transaction is complete. So, just wanted to give you that information. We're going to step back now. I'm feeling like some meditation right now. And I know that what I'm about to tell you and guide you through is going to help you in some way. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a meditation, and I'm hearing this, and this is a meditation for the very first time. I have a rainbow chakra meditation, but Spirit is telling me the rings of light. The rings of light. And you might feel it like the columns of light when we're done, or the pillars of light. So what I want you to do is make sure you have a bottle of water by you at room temperature, or maybe you have a cup of tea or some juice or coffee by you, but you don't want it piping hot. You just want it at room temperature. If you need to boil up some water right now, do it. Or warm up something for yourself, do it. Also, what I've found over the years is when you go into deep levels of meditation, it's good to have not only room temperature water, but something that lets you know you're back on Earth. Some people would use like candy, like dark chocolate, especially because it's not overly sweet and it's very energetic to you, especially when you're coming out of the folds of meditation. So you might have a little piece of dark chocolate around you. But I want you to be relaxed, be comfortable in your seated position. And as you are in this seated position, I want you to begin to breathe through the nose and out through the mouth. One cycle, inhalation and exhalation is one cycle, at least 4 times. Starting right now, just inhale and just drop the breath out of your mouth. Exhale. Now, the way you want to do this as you keep going, you want to let the abdominal area beneath your sternum move forward. This is the natural way that a baby breathes. They have the diaphragm, and underneath there, that whole abdominal area where your belly button is kind of pushes out as you inhale, then draws back in as you exhale. So let's try that together. Inhale, press the abdominal area out gently without straining. Inhale, exhale, drawing in, let it come out through your mouth. Sort of like a bellows. 2 handles, and 2 handles are like your rib. The abdomen stretches like an accordion as you inhale, and then you press it together and send the air out of your lungs. Do that about 3 more times so that you got 5 instead of 4 now. Just relax into it. Let your shoulders drop down as much as you can. Some of you may have to sit up through the spine. Now, the spine is naturally curved, so you don't try to tussle with the lower part of your back and actually straighten it out. It's curved for a reason. Let your head sit comfortably on top of your neck. Square, as they say, on your shoulders. Very good. Now, what I want you to do is do all the breathing this time through the nose without pausing on either end. So don't hold the breath at the top of the exhalation or at the bottom of the top of the inhalation or the bottom of the exhalation. Just breathe normally, but keep the tongue to the roof of your mouth, just behind your 2 front teeth in the center, on the hard ridge palate there of the gums. placing your upper jaw down onto the lower jaw, upper teeth to lower teeth, so that this air can move and the chi can move with it. If you need to interrupt your flow of breathing, just slightly part your lips, inhale through the mouth, and exhale back through the mouth once or twice, and then go right back to full inhalation and exhalation through your nose. Now, all of you remember what a hula hoop is, right? Remember the hula hoop as a child is still out there. They have weighted ones in the gym now to really rock the body. But the little plastic tube called a hula hoop, and you place it around your waist and you do that waistline movement to keep it going, right? Well, think of rings just like that, and they're all slightly bigger than the other. So we're going to bring down our first hula hoop. And as it comes down from above your head, we're going to use right now the color white. We're using the white color. It doesn't have to be a bright white, but we're going to use the white because it represents all the colors at their highest rate. But a very soft white light. This is going to like boost your energy up just a notch. You're going to inhale. And whether you see it or not, it's already there because you thought about it. You placed the thought out. And it should be wide enough to go around your entire body as you bring it down. And you're going to bring it down past your hips, past your ankles, onto the ground. Let it seep in. And what it did, it just cleared all of your energy zones at the same time. Now we're going to build from both ends. Now we're going to bring a very beautiful soft red light out of the ground. So you might envision a red hoop. That shouldn't be a bright red hoop, like a really soft red hoop. And I want you to put that vision out that it's on the ground around your body. And this soft red hoop, if you were to place it over and around your body at ground level, it's going to be approximately 12 feet in diameter. 12 feet in diameter. And you're going to bring it up through on top of the ground so that it hovers evenly, coming up right around just beyond or just higher than your tailbone. You're going to inhale upon this red hula hoop light, soft red. Some of you might get a dark red, what we call out here southwestern or burgundy red. That's fine. You just want it to come up. You're pulling it up with your breath. And then it goes up and down now, really gentle around your body, up and down. And maybe about an inch or two, or from the first to the third vertebrae, from your tailbone up. That's how far it goes, and back down. It's very gentle, very easy. You might feel like a tingling sensation there. Don't be alarmed. It's the energy field that you are controlling with your breath and your mind all at the same time. It's like lifting a weight. You're lifting it through breathing, gently placing it back down to the earth. Now we just energized it, so I want you to know that the red light, even though it is on the earth, it is grounded, but it has energized the root chakra or base chakra, which is red. It's a ring of light. Now, I want you to bring it up one more time, and this time as it comes up over the first three vertebrae, I want you to see a reddish orange light pop up out of the red. Just hovers there while the red goes back down and touches the ground. This reddish orange light is now moving and energizing the body. Energizing the body from the earth plane up. You're inhaling up and dropping it down as you exhale. Inhaling up and dropping it down, releasing it down, it floats down. Just stay focused. Now it comes up to about the third vertebrae, and this time you just bring it a little higher to the fourth vertebrae from the tailbone up. And then you're going to let it change and pop out an orange light, a soft orange light. And the reddish orange light is going to float back down. It's not on top of the red, but it's right next to it, but on the inside. So the reddish orange light probably for you was about 11 feet in diameter. So you're given a foot space in between them. The red was 12 feet. The reddish orange was 11-foot diameter. Now the orange pulls out, and we're going to do this one a little differently. We're going to make this one 10.5-foot diameter all around your body, a 10.5-foot diameter. We want to leave room for our others, right? So it's orange, and it's coming up even now. You can use like where your navel is, the center of your navel. That's where it is right now, covering the lower part of your kidneys. Just see it bounce up from the ground, through the reddish orange, out of it, and it's orange. Let it float back down. It's 10.5-foot diameter, floating back down. Very good. Bounce it up, breathe it up again. You're going to feel a slight sensation around your body in the pelvis area. And back down again. Slight tingling. It's like tingling sensation in your navel and the lower part of your kidneys. These are the rings of light. Alright. Now you bring that orange light up. Right? The red ring of light is 12-foot diameter. The reddish orange is 11-foot diameter. So it leaves a space in between. And now the orange light, as it floats back down and comes back up one more time, we're going to pop a yellow ring out of it. And it kind of sits up a little higher than your navel, up into the solar plexus region. Take a deep breath. Let it out through the mouth. The orange light floats down, and it's a 10-foot diameter. So we're going to make the yellow ring of light. It's going to be in the 10 range. We're going to make it, Spirit says 10.25 for a reason. 10.25. That's the 125 vibration. The other one's a $1.50. This one's a 125. Very good. Just let it move up and down the body. And let that yellow move all the way down and touch the ground and bounce back up on its own, like floating. Think of like a bubble, like you're blowing bubbles out of a jar, just like that. Just let it do its thing. Inhale upon it as it comes up and reaches the solar plexus level, and go right back down again. Now you have the red, the reddish orange, and the orange. They're like on the ground, you see. Just letting this yellow do its thing. Very good. Now, there might be a feeling that you want to do a yellowish orange or a yellowish green, but you're not going to do that. This is what you're going to do. You're going to let that yellow ring go all the way down. touch the ground. The minute you see it and feel it touch the ground, it's like an accordion. It brings up underneath it the orange, and underneath the orange, the reddish orange, and underneath the reddish orange, the red. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. In and out. And they're just all sitting there on top of each other with enough space in between. That yellow, representing ring for your solar plexus, has a diameter of 10 feet and a quarter. So now it's floating up, and we're going to go for a nice soft green light, beautiful grassy green light for the heart center. The yellow light is just floating there and easing up out of the space at a 10-foot diameter is the grassy green heart center. All the others are just slightly moving up and down, not losing their space around your body. A perfect 10-foot diameter is now the grassy green light for your heart center. Feel like all of you have it. Just let it rock in your mind. You can see the color rings. You can see all of them. Very good. I just want you to just feel the soft green light come up even with the center of your heart chakra. And right out of it pops a turquoise light. And the turquoise light is 9 3/4. You want to give it space so it's not on top of your body. 9 3/4 in your mind. What's going to happen, these additional halves and quarters and 3/4, your inner self will tell you exactly where that is for you, and it will make the adjustments accordingly. So what's going to happen is, just giving you a hint, that the yellow light is going to be the top of the physical pillars of light, rings of light. The green light is going to be the bridge between the two. So this green light may also take on like a column around the heart, and the turquoise light is another column just inside and kind of matches it, and it's a little less because if the green is 10, the turquoise is 9 3/4. Still have plenty of room around your body. And it's going to take us into sky blue for the throat chakra at 9.5-foot diameter. Feel a tingling sensation throughout your body now. It's like you're in love with this energy. You just feel ultimate peace, infinite peace. And as we begin to flow with this energy now, I'm having a rocking sensation. You may have one from side to side. I have it almost in a circular motion. Taking on this energy, flowing with this energy. And we got this sky blue for the throat chakra at 9.5-foot diameter. So the heart was 10. The bridge right between the heart and the base of the throat, where the thymus area is, Christ consciousness area, turquoise light at 9, 9.5, and 9 1/4 is for your throat. So there's a lot of space there, right? Very good. Spirit just tells us to go right up a little higher. We're not going to the third eye yet. We're going to take in where the crown, where the skull, the base of your skull is, where the throat goes in. That's a magenta light. And we're going to squeeze this in at about 9, a 9-foot diameter. You're going to have to replay this because this is just coming as is. I didn't write this down at all. You're going to have to replay it and actually write down the diameter of each one of these rings of light, okay? You're right there at 9 1/4 to almost 8. All right, so we're moving now, and we only need to be in that magenta range just for a little bit. Now we're going to step it up where the third eye and the temple, the right and the left temple, along with the third eye, is going to cover that indigo range. We're going to put that indigo range there at about 8 foot diameter, indigo range. So you got a hula hoop, 8 foot diameter. I mean, you got 4 feet out this way and 4 feet out that way and 4 feet out that way and 4 feet out that way. That's awesome. That's awesome sauce. You might feel a little high from that right now. So now we're going to take the crown into a violet, beautiful royal purple. And we're going to make it, we're going to expand it so that it kind of matches pretty close to the heart. So we're going to poke it out there at 10 feet. So it'll be even with your heart. Breathe. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe. It's like an accordion now. All of these rings are going up and down like this. And through the heart has grassy green. Heart chakra has a 10-foot diameter. Crown of your head has a 10-foot diameter. The ones in between are a little less. Now what you're going to do before we do anything else, you're now going to speak whatever the word is through you, and all you're going to say is this phrase: I am aware and I am remember. I remember. I am aware that I remember. I remember that I am aware. I am aware that I remember. I remember that I am aware. Again, I am aware that I remember. I remember that I am aware. And just stop right there and let the rhythm of your voice that you just heard, and what it's going to do now, it intricately knows to make the adjustment through all the rings. So some of you may have rings going out like this and coming around. Some of you might have an hourglass coming down. Some of you might have the Coke bottle straight and down like that. It's going to do whatever it's supposed to do for you. And here's another thing that it's going to do. While those rings are parallel to each other, there's another set of rings that's going to be vertical to each other, like parallel to the earth, parallel to each other. And there's another set of rings that's going to flip up and hang on the diagonal through each one. And then that's going to be spinning around. And then there's one that's going to be spinning this way and one that's going to be spinning that way. They're not interlocking, they're just touching the edges of each other. And it's going to create this very unique pattern of energy throughout your body and around your body. The time is about 6:35 p.m. my time. We started about 5:18 p.m. We're doing pretty good, so we're going a little over an hour. And this is a highly energetic piece of information, so we're not going to rock on this too long. It's going to do whatever it needs to do for you. So if your heartbeat was a little slow or sluggish, it's going to pick it up. Your lungs energy is going to pick up a little bit. We call your lung chi, your heart chi, your spleen chi, your pancreas chi, your bladder chi, your gallbladder chi, your urinary bladder chi, reproductive chi, All of these are going to balance themselves out. The muscles, the chi in the muscle, the chi in the fascia, the chi in the layers of the skin, the chi in the bone, the chi in the marrows, the chi in the ligament, all of that is going to adjust itself. The chi in your teeth, the chi in your hair, that's going to adjust itself. Your toenails, your fingernails, that's going to adjust itself. The follicles, where the hair goes down into the pores, that's going to adjust itself. The retina is going to adjust itself. The lens, the iris, is going to adjust itself. There's a lot of adjustments going on here. Optical nerves are going to adjust themselves. The tubes running up into the ears are going to adjust themselves. So therefore your clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentient is all going to adjust itself. Some of you are going to have a vision that's going to come to you. Before this show goes off the air or right after it, you're going to get a unique vision. You're going to have it in your dream. It's going to be something that you desire from these rings of light, stirring up your creative energy and your healing energy. Those of you who are studying Reiki are just going to have an incredible amount of Reiki energy coming through you. And it's going to empower you for sure. So what I'm going to do right now at this moment, I'm going to kind of bring you out of it. The Holy Spirit says the rings of light are in the ethers around you. Now, they're also telling me that these rings of light aren't forcing themselves on you. They're sitting within your auric field in a very subtle way. And guess what? No one else can manipulate them unless you have a unique connection with that person. If you have a unique connection, which is unconditional love and divine grace, to whomever is around you, that person can help you boost the energy up if need to be. Or they will work with you and you can boost it up, and they're like an anchor for you, and vice versa. No one can manipulate it. It's in your shield, so it can be used as a shield. Right now they're being used to energize your chakras and energize the organs and the regions around your body. Just want you to take it in, replay this as many times as you want. I'm going to upload it later into my YouTube so you can replay it forever. As long as it's sitting there on YouTube, my YouTube account is open, you can play it forever. Really boost up your energy. I'm going to bring you out. I'm just going to count you down, but the energy is up for you to grab on at any point. And I'm not going to make it a long count. I'm going to use the number 5. Like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do it again. Take a breath in. Just drop the breath out of your mouth. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Inhale. And drop it out. Exhale. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're done. So I didn't even write this out. I'm going to have to replay this myself. I'm going to have to replay it myself so I can listen to it and take notes too. As I say, I'm quite sure there's going to be some other interesting things that are going to come up when you replay this. So I want to thank you for being on with me. We started a little late. We still got in about 75 minutes. A great energetic time frame. If you always want to be in touch with me, you could email me at iam.circleofgrace1@yahoo.com or iam.circleofgrace1@gmail.com. I'm starting to use Google Hangouts, so if you are on Google, we can connect there with some short video lessons and questions you might have. I also have Skype. I'm on Skype as Brother Francis ReveLs-Bey, ReVELS dash capital BEY. My first name is Francis, FRANCIS. So if you want to connect with me on Skype, you can find me there, and we could do some Skype audio or Skype video work, whichever is the best for us to utilize. So we'll be able to go with the flow of that. And I also have WhatsApp. So you could also have a free chat through WhatsApp. So it's not costing you any money. Alrighty. I also got Tango, Tango. So you want to got Tango? We can do a face-to-face time with Tango if you want to. All right. I want to get ready to close out. I have some other people to connect with who are also in the queue here watching this program, and we're going to do some very interesting things tonight. I can't announce that over the air. This is being done specifically for them, and those of you, I'll do it for you later in a private session as well. It's a very interesting way to cleanse your energy field, and it keeps unwarranted energies and entities from just popping up out of nowhere on top of you that should not be in your space. And I'm teaching this to my niece and nephew so that they get this energy. I know they're watching, and we're going to talk about how to utilize this. I am going to create some more PDFs soon. I'm just gathering what I want to put together, and some simple things about creating the doors for money to come in as you need it in your life, as well as people ask me about, do I know about candles and how to use candles? Yes, I do. And talk about how to charge up some candles. I know some other things that you'd like to be able to charge up, and I'm going to make it very simple so that you can. And I'm going to create some other things that you could utilize, some tools. And sometimes we do need tools, but they're utilized so that you don't have to depend on them like a crutch. It's just like you need a ruler to know what 12 inches is. You need a T-square to know what that is. You need a protractor to know what that is. Then you put it away. You put it aside, and you'll see what you're supposed to see. So I'm going to get ready to sign off, but before I sign off, I want to thank all of you for being supportive, watching the show on a weekly basis, and flowing through this season of technical challenges, but I'm enjoying the challenges of it more and more and more. So I want to close this out with a decree. I see and decree that everything that you do from this point on will further enhance and grow your life. Grow more opportunities of prosperity and abundance, greater health, greater understanding so that you can look over the mountain and see what you need to see for yourself, or look through the mountain so that you can scry into your own future and see it happening right now. I see and decree that you can expand your spiritual family. I see and decree that even in the current family that you have, whether they're mom and dad, aunts and uncles, grandparents, cousins, siblings, that hopefully it could be a better life of communication. And if not, then you don't sulk over it, you move on. Because you do have a family that loves you. You do have a spiritual family that connects with you, that you have a bond or connection with before you got here. So may you be joyful, may you be happy, may you be forever blessed, and may you be a blessing to those who come into your life. And may you also bless yourself. May you understand that the miraculous will no longer be just extraordinary. It becomes an everyday thing. Miracles happen every day. It transforms who you really are. So I see and decree that you will have a better life, and it starts right now. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, I'll be here next Thursday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Out here, I'm broadcasting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, so I'm thankful to be here in my 5th year broadcasting like this online. Every Wednesday, I'm at Blog Talk Radio with the Age of Remembrance for a 30-minute show at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see my spiritual family in a second. In a second, we're going to be together in about an hour, so I need to go out and get a quick walk in, ground myself a little bit, get back in here so we can do our thing. And everybody, Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for growing with me as I'm growing with you. My grace is your grace, as Akhenaten always says. I'm a Menitin. I'm with him and he is with me. My grace is your grace. Our grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you so much. See you soon.